Martin Luther King. The life, legacy, and impact. Who was he, and how can we still feel his impact today? Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, to parents Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. He also had two siblings, A.D. King and Christine King. King's family had a long and vested history in the Southern Baptist Church, and like his grandfather and father, he succeeded them in that profession. In 1954, he became the head pastor at the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. It was during this time in his adult years that King became an outspoken proponent for the civil rights movement, and in 1955 took a leadership role in the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It is through King's leadership role in the NAACP that he was able to instigate the first nonviolent protest known as the bus boycott. The bus boycott lasted 382 days and demonstrated the tenacity of the movement and its strive for equality. And through King's leadership, and the many civil rights activists alongside him, on December 21, 1956, the United States Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional the laws requiring segregation on buses. But that does not mean the journey to get that was easy. King's home was bombed, he was subjected to personal abuse, and was arrested. But despite all of that, he emerged as a prominent leader. The bus boycott is just one example of King's impact on the civil rights movement. He also participated in the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and wrote his infamous Letter from Birmingham Jail. He also organized a march on Washington where he delivered his infamous I Have a Dream speech, and also helped to coordinate the Selma March. And yet, despite all of King's work for the people of color of the United States and the civil rights movement itself, King's life was tragically cut short on April 4, 1968. But that does not mean his legacy and his impact on our cultural identity as Americans is short-lived. It is through King's vision of togetherness and racial equality that we see modern-day activist groups such as Black Lives Matter, Trans Women of Color Collective, and Black Girls Code, and many more. But it is not only through these direct reflections of activism that we see today. We can also see inspiration taken from King's legacy through artists such as Common and Kendrick Lamar. We can even see it in iconic cinema such as Forrest Gump. Despite King's life being cut short, it is his achievements and impact that have long lasted the test of time. We can still see his impacts in our modern-day pop culture, through activism, through many things that make up our modern-day identity. There's still a lot of work to be done, but it is King's legacy and the impacts he's made that have set them all into motion. I hope all of you who have listened to my digital biopic leave here with an understanding of who King was and his lasting impact. And finally, thank you all for listening.